back from Florida, and it's time to do some updates on the rat rod. Kind of tore it apart to check the lift and see what we had right now. I got a cam for it. First things first, I should do a compression check. Probably should have done that before I got the cam, but that's all right. We're gonna go ahead and check the compression on this thing, just do a little health check, make sure everything's all right. And then once we do that, we're gonna go and pop this motor out to do the cam, and I'm gonna kind of clean up the frame rails and just do some tidy up stuff on it. All right, we're all connected here. You wanna turn it over, Chris? Keep going. Okay. We did a compression test, and it's still old small block Chevy, but they're all within good enough. They vary between 115 and 130. Like I said, she's all worn out. I ain't saying this is a brand new motor, but she's gonna be good enough to go do more burnouts. So we're gonna go ahead and, sounds like a lot of work, but we're gonna yank this motor out. And once we yank the motor out, we're gonna put a new cam in it, and we're doing the new intake. We're doing all the new stuff. I just kind of wanted to have it out of the rod, even though it's super easy to get in there. Let's figure if we get it out of the rod, we can get everything set up to where we want on an engine stand, and then we can bring it back and set it right back down where it was. So me and Chris are gonna go ahead and get to work. He's already started taking all the piping off and everything. So we need to take the transmission, separate that, and I'm just gonna take it off right here so that we can just leave this engine mount right here and just leave the turbos and everything on. I don't want to take any of that off if we don't have to, but yeah. So we're just gonna go ahead and get to work. We're going to set up a time lapse and get going. Okay, we got the in the sand all ready to go. We're gonna go ahead and let her down and go ahead and start disassembling the intake area, getting the accessories off of it, getting the balancer off of it, water pump, everything, so that we can get the new cam in there. All right, so as you can see, we got the accessories off the front of it. We just got done taking the balancer off with my new Polar over there. We're gonna go ahead and pull the front cover off this thing and pull the intake and the other valve cover off so we can get this all cleared up, and we're gonna pull this other cam out. Once we get this all tore apart tonight, we can't really put it back together because we need to let the lifter soak overnight. So we'll be kind of at a standstill there, but maybe I'll grab the EFI stuff and kind of play around in the cab with that and see what we're gonna do with that. But yeah, that's what we're gotten planned right now. So keep going with the time lapse and keep showing you guys what we're doing. All right, so we got the pan all cleaned out. We're gonna go ahead and scrape the old stuff off right here. We got a one-piece gasket that should make it a lot nicer. Got all this cleaned out. Gonna get this on. Cam's already in there. Time and set, got all torqued down. We're all good to go. New day. We took a break from yesterday. So we're gonna go ahead and get work on this. Get her filled up with oil and pop her back in the rod. I soaked my lifters overnight. They're probably doing pretty good, so get her put in there. We got the new intake on here with our ARP bolts. This is the EFI intake, as you can see. It looks pretty good, and I'm pretty excited about it. Got to figure out spacing and stuff for everything. Probably should have measured the other one that was on here, but that's all right. We also got the cam, we got the push rods, we got everything put in, and we're good to go. So that's all good. Got the balancer, we'll get some accessories done up, but we got to torque the intake down and keep going. All right, so some little things that we're putting on the intake. Obviously, you gotta get a thermostat in there. This is a coolant sensor for the ECU. This goes to the water pump because we just have a straight block off for the where the heater core normally be. What else? You gotta get a plug for this. Something that kind of sucks is for the oil pressure. I gotta get a little thing that raises up because the sensor hits the intake. So gotta do that. But other than that, we just gotta kind of block off a lot of this stuff. Everything that doesn't need to be there. There's a bunch of extra stuff. But I also have the distributor over there, so we're gonna scout the distributor. Just kind of slowly getting it put together. Alrighty, so we got the old HyperSpark distributor in here. This thing is like makes it to where you can't mess it up. So put that on there, get this all lined up. It only goes on one way, so that's cool. I'm not really gonna show you guys how to do it. I wouldn't want to do that. Holley, I'll put the link in the description for the Holley distributor, and how to do this. They explain it a lot better. They spend a lot of time doing those videos, so I'm gonna let you guys watch those. But we did get the distributor in. We got the new intake on. We got the coolant sensor port. This is, I already showed you guys all this. Never mind. But I'm gonna go right here, put this cap on here somewhere. And it goes all the way around. I don't remember, but I'll get that on. I need to lock that down and everything, so we're all good to go. First time ever having a billet distributor. This engine's kind of getting crazy. I don't know if this engine's kind of getting crazy. I don't know if I told you guys or not, but when me and Chris tore this thing apart, when we tore it apart, we noticed it has 4-bolt mains, which is pretty good for a small block Chevy, and it has a double roller timing chain set. So those are really good components to keep it reliable for what we're doing. So I think it's going to be safe to turn up the boost a little bit on this thing. Not a lot. We're not going to go crazy, but I think we're at 5 pounds right now. I think we can creep up on 10. I think that'd be totally doable. So that with a 9-inch and good transmission and everything, I think we're going to be good to go. Well, we got the new throttle body, the new EFI, everything all done. We got all the piping back on. So now we are going to lift it up off the engine stand, transplant it over here, and get her done. so you guys know, don't ever use an excuse to say that you can't do it in a weekend. Me and Chris out here busting butt. We got the motor pulled on Saturday. Put a cam in it Saturday night. We got to put back together this morning, and it's Sunday evening, and we're about to put it back in the rat rod. We totally just did all this in one weekend. So hopefully that motivates you to get out and work on your project, because project cars aren't going to work on themselves. Look at Phil over there just busting butt. He's freaking just got his new project done. He got heads, cam, he did a bunch of stuff on the Ratro, so it sounds pretty wicked. Get out there and work on your project. All right, motor's back in. Chris is doing the last little touch-ups on the motor mounts. Look at that. Got the whole EFI setup on there. Still lots to do, but doing that cam swap is definitely huge. So gotta thank Chris for all the help on that. As I showed you before, we have the new throttle body. We have the Hyper Spark distributor. So what I'm actually gonna do, since we got the new cam in here, I'm gonna take this distributor off and I'm gonna take this throttle body off. I'm gonna put my carburetor on and my old distributor, and I'm gonna start this thing and I'm gonna break the cam in. After talking with Dad and some other guys, it's just a better idea to break the cam in with a setup that we know runs good. So I wanna get it running good, break the cam in. I don't wanna be trying to tune this EFI stuff, washing down the cylinders with fuel and just doing all that stuff, because that stuff happens when you're trying to learn how to set up the EFI, and it's my first time, so I know it's not just gonna go perfect. Anyway, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and swap the carb and the distributor, and I still have some stuff to do, getting the starter on and just some little tidy up things to get it going, and oh yeah, and the coolant. So I'm just gonna go and get to work getting that stuff put on, and let's get this thing ready so that we can break the cam in today, hopefully. So we got the carburetor, distributor, and all the spark plug wires on. I got the fuel line hooked up for that. I'm just finishing up getting the starter on right here. This tool right here is something y'all can appreciate. Vice Grip calls it the old Lone Wolf 7000 or something like that. But anyway, I'm here by myself and I need to put these torque converter bolts in. So I need to be able to rotate the motor over. So what I'm gonna do is put these, one on the power and one on the solenoid portion of it, and just kind of slowly crank it over while I'm trying to get this stuff done. So now that I got it hooked up right there, you just give her a little, just like that. All right, we are down to adding oil and then trying to start this thing up. Everything's put back together as far as I know. Hoping that the firing order is correct. I went through and looked at a diagram, so hoping that I got everything there right. We are still kind of putting water in it, trying to help it out there. But we're gonna go and put some water in it, or put some oil in there, put some water in there. But just go and try and fire it up and see if we can do this braking cycle. Hopefully we have no leaks. I pray we have no leaks. Doing our final little checks before we do a first startup. I'm gonna be out here kind of controlling the throttle. I'm gonna have Tanner in there starting it. Chris is gonna be out here. I'm gonna have you kind of check on the water and just kind of check on everything. I'm gonna try and set timing right away when we do this. Just a good enough timing so that we can get some RPM out of it. Literally just gonna do this braking cycle and pull everything off that we just did, but that's fine. Yeah, I think it's gonna be go time here. Shine that on the... Okay. Well, it's probably flooding now. That's fine. Go ahead and give it a shot. finished the rat rod up with a cam swap last night, and we got it all broke in. I'm gonna do one more little startup and just kind of show you guys what it sounds like. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get this thing fired up real quick. The cam is in, the cam is ready to go. We're all finished up with the cam. Now I gotta wire this whole thing, and that's gonna be a lot of work, but that's beside the point. Anyway, I just wanted to kind of update everybody, and I'm super excited. If you guys haven't already, go check out the free car event on Facebook. That's the next place that we're gonna have the rat rod. I'm gonna put a link in the description down here and show you guys exactly where we're gonna be going. I promise you the rat rod's gonna do a pretty awesome burnout there. Everything's gonna be really dialed in. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the video off here. But anyway, guys, I just wanna let you know.